Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, we're going to take a detour. Detour Reef is a 7.9% New England style IPA from Arvon Brewing Company in Granville, Michigan. Detour is one of those West Michigan beers I was talking about a few videos back when I said I'd picked up a minor haul on my way to Burning Foot and Muskegon. So I'd seen this beer and a couple of others from Arvon on Instagram and noticed they were releasing this whole Lighthouse series, which are all New England style IPAs that are hopped with a single varietal, meaning that each only contains one kind of hop. Now, I'll talk about that when I get into the label, but I didn't know which hop varietal was featured in Detour. But after reading their website, I see this one is Citra, which makes me really happy because I'm a big fan of Citra hops. I was able to pick this bottle up for $9.99, just so that you know. And with that, I'm going to take a look at the bottle. I'll talk a little bit more about it. So on the bottle here, they have their Lighthouse series. Each one has a different basically a painting or a label with a different lighthouse on it. This one says Detour Reef, double dry hopped India Pale Ale. Again, it's double dry hop, but only with Citra. It's 1.6 ounces, which is 22 fluid ounces, or as you may know, a bomber. 7.9% alcohol by volume. It says proudly brewed and bottled by Arvon Brewing Company in Granville, Michigan. Has the deposits across the top. So it has a little story about Arvon on the side here, and this whole Lighthouse series. It says Arvon Brewing Company's Lighthouse series of New England-style IPAs are each distinctly hopped with a single varietal, displaying the unique character of the hops as a shining beacon. The explosive hop flavor and aroma of Citra hops featured in Detour Reef IPA is best experienced when this beer is kept cold and enjoyed fresh. Drink now. And I don't see any kind of date on this bottle, but I know I just bought it a few weeks back, and when the store that I went to, which was Siciliano's in Grand Rapids, they said that they had just gotten this. Now, I noticed this time that it says which hop was in here. It says aroma of Citra hops featured in Detour Reef. But it would be a lot nicer to see right on the front here which hop it was. So if I had any kind of complaint or any kind of suggestion or criticism or constructive criticism to give to Arvon, I would say, like, right on the front of the bottle on the label, just say what the hop is, so I don't have to look at the side here. I mean, obviously it said, aroma of Citra hops featured, but if it was just on the label on the front somewhere a little bit bigger, it might be a little bit easier to find, a little bit easier to figure out which hop it was, because I picked up I think they had 2 or 3 different ones at the time, and I wasn't sure which hop was which. One of them I know was like Nelson hops, and I'm not a huge Nelson fan. I like Citra a lot more, so I was just kind of happy. And the person at the front counter didn't know either. They said in an email it had been mentioned, but they weren't sure. So no fault of theirs. It just would have been a little bit nicer just to have it right up front, and then we would have known what we were looking at or what I was buying. But again, I feel like I got lucky because I love Citra hops, and this is double dry hop with just Citra. Enough with all that. I'm going to grab my glass, my Tiku glass, my custom Draft Therapy Tiku glass, which you can find a link to below this video. And we're going to go ahead and crack this one open. So just a plain, I had the price tag on here. It was $9.99. Like I said, I took that off, so you might notice a little bit of paper on there, but it's just a white plain cap. No branding on it, no nothing. Going to go ahead and set this bottle opener here and take a quick nose right out of the bomber here, out of the glass. Yeah, big time citrus scent. Getting a lot of citrus. A little bit of that funky dankness, but that's fine. That's to be expected. Yeah, it's got that kind of sugary kind of scent, citrusy sugary citrusness. I don't know how to exactly explain it, but it's like that dankness that you get from Citra. I'm ready to just pour this and see what it looks like. Glug, glug, glug. It's very light coming out of the bottle. It's nice and hazy in the glass. I'm going to go ahead and cut that, and we will see. Hopefully it doesn't overpour, and I didn't overpour. Yay me! So it's very, very hazy just looking at it in the glass. To the light, it is, I mean, I can barely see any kind of shadow through it. I mean, it looks a little bit darker. I can tell light's being broken or interrupted as it comes through the glass, but it's totally opaque. There's not a whole lot coming through this. A nice head, a little bit kind of yellowish, a little off-white, but nice compact bubbles across the top, some soapy ones here in the middle, but that's where you pour it, and that's where it kind of ends up. I almost kind of run out of adjectives or things to say about a head, so, take it for what it is. It's a nice head. It's nice and compact. It's got some larger bubbles around the top and in the middle and on the outside here, but let's get to tasting. Cheers. Or actually, let's get a better nose on the beer here. Yeah, getting more of that citra kind of scent, a lot of citrus, getting a little bit of that kind of stone fruit, tropical fruit. This kind of biting, kind of cutting sweetness, like a sugary kind of sweetness on top of all that citrus. So now we're going to go ahead and dive in. Cheers. Wow, that's nice. It's very kind of sweet up front. You get a nice sweetness to it. That really kind of rolls in and subsides. As that sweetness kind of subsides, you start getting that citrus quality to it, like orange, tangerine. Very smooth, a nice light, soft mouthfeel. But as that kind of citrus fades away, there's a little bit of a citrus bitterness to it, but there's not much. It's very smooth, it's very subtle, it's very even. Yeah, it's just a quality beer. This is my first beer from Arvon. I wasn't really sure what to expect. Again, I've seen their pictures of the different Lighthouse series on Instagram. I know they have one called Bushwookie, which I believe is an IPA as well. They have a couple others that I kind of keep my eye on here in Southeast Michigan, but they don't really make it out here yet. The distribution doesn't make it this far. So I did pick it up in West Michigan. If you're on the west side of the state, I would say probably at least as far west as Grand Rapids. It shouldn't be that difficult to pick up. But it's very smooth, very light, very refreshing. Being at 7.9%, there's not I don't taste 7.9, close to 8, might as well be 8%. I don't taste a lot of alcohol in it. There's not like an alcohol bitterness on the tail end. There's not a lot of alcohol bitterness in the hops either, with that citrus kind of bitterness that's just really subtle on the tail end. It's just a really smooth New England style IPA. A lot of these New England style IPAs start kind of melting together, so there's not a whole lot of differentiation between all of the different ones, but this one's still really good. I would love to try more of the Lighthouse series just to see how the different ones, you can kind of pick out the different flavors from the different hops. And that's something, if you're not really sure what kind of hop varieties you like, these would be a good kind of proving ground to test what the taste is, because each one's only hopped with that one style or that one varietal of hop. So you can kind of get a good idea of what each hop, flavor profile should be like. And as I kind of talk more, I pick up a little bit more of this kind of, on the tail end and the aftertaste, it's got a little bit of this kind of sweet, almost like artificial sweetness kind of taste, aftertaste, a citrus kind of aftertaste, but it's not uncommon for this beer or for this, style. That's kind of what you'll pick up on an aftertaste. The aftertaste is a little bit stronger on this than I think that I'm used to, but it's still a quality beer. Again, I would love to try more of the Lighthouse series from Arvon, or anything from Arvon, to be honest, but the Lighthouse series in particular, because again, being a single hop variety, double dry hopped across that style, it'd just be a really good kind of benchmark to see what that hop flavored, what each hop varietal, what the flavor profile is for that. I think this would be perfect for that. So again, I think this is a real quality beer, and if you're looking to try and find out what each hop characteristic or flavor profile has, this would be a really great place to start. All right, friends, that has been Detour Reef from Arvon Brewing. If you head into Granville and you check out Arvon, make sure you mention you saw their beer here. Have you had any other beer from Arvon? And when you buy New England style IPAs, do you like to know the hops that are used? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and while you're down there, you can find links to my social media, some merch, a custom Tiku glass just like this one, and links to all the gear that I use on my videos, and a link to my blog at drafttherapy.com. You can also get some heads up information on some of my live streams, get some input on those streams by following me on Facebook and Instagram. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. As always, thanks for stopping by, and remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries, and don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft Draft Therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.